now we're on the other side of my studio.
Ooh. And I notice you have a lovely wall of comics here. Are these all your particular favorites, or any reason they made the wall?
I thought they were cool covers, and yeah, a lot of them are significant to me, so I don't know. Gary Panter, this is Omega the Unknown. This was one of his few mainstream works. Can I take time out to tell you the story? It's really funny about this. This is about respect that indie guys get when they work for mainstream.
Sure, go for it, man.
So, they're not familiar with him. Gary Panter's a pretty big guy. You know, it seems like it to me in the art world, and he's one of my favorites. He was part of Raw and stuff. And he got to do this cover for Omega the Unknown. And I can't remember the exact details, but basically he was late turning in the art. So he calls up these guys to tell them, and he can't get a hold of them. So he knows where the studio is, and he goes up to see them, and he knocks on the door and stuff, and the guy's out there, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Gary Panter, I have the final artwork for, like, you know, Omega or whatever." And the guy that's working there, I don't know if he's an intern or whatever, he doesn't know who he is. And he thinks he's a bum. And he's like, "Yeah, just set it over there by the pizza boxes." And it almost gets lost. They almost throw it on the trash. Because, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But I'm glad they didn't, because I think this cover's awesome.
How'd you find out about that story?
It was told to me as an anecdote, but I can't remember if it was published in the Comics Journal or not, or something like that, yeah.
Cool.
So,
Right on.
I've heard it more than once, so it must be true, from two different people.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
So you mix up for me here whiskey and soda. Does it matter what soda? Or is it
It's Dr. Pepper. And by Dr. Pepper, because our sponsor, no, I'm kidding.
I wish. But I have to say, this is a bit much to take in. I'm glad I could have some insight into your life until I pass out on your couch.
That's not a strong mix, man.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Next time I'll make a strong mix. If you go to JR's, for those of you in Denver, you know, there's JR's. It's a gay lesbian bar. It's fantastic. They have, during their happy hour, they have like really, really strong drinks. And they're like $2 for whiskey and Coke. So, yeah.
Nice.
I'm not paid by them either.
Just frequent?
No, I only went once. Or no, I've went there like 3 times or whatever. So, yeah, it's good.
You're giving them a shout out?
Yeah, I'm giving it a shout out because it's really good drinks, man. And like, I think the secret is most heterosexuals are afraid to go into gay bars. But, good drinks. You can edit all this out, that's fine.
I probably won't. Leila, how do you feel about gay bars?
Love them.
Really?
Well, I don't know.
Leila and I used to go karaoke in her bar.
Her bar, yes. When the karaoke was good. No offense for bar. But as of maybe 5 months ago, your karaoke kind of sucks. But I'm sure you're trying to fix it. And we'll be back as soon as you do, I'm sure. I have money.
There's lots of women in there.
Yeah, there's lots of women in there. Go figure. Yeah, there's a lot of guys in JRs. Really? Yeah, anyway. No, gay bars are cool.
Awesome.
How do you feel about gay bars?
I've never been to one.
Ever?
I've never been taken along, and
Let's
I wouldn't
go
feel
later.
comfortable going by myself.
Well, we're gonna take you there.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll take
Let's do
you
it.
there.
Right after this interview.
Bam. All right. So, another comic that grabbed me with you, Leila, was Dreams of Green, which was a 24-hour comic. 24-hour comics? How do you say that? Is there like an official way to say that?
No, 24-hour comic is the official way I would say.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And so it just struck me that you did this whole comic, dialogueless, silent. And with the 24-hour comics, do you just jump in and do it? Do you just let it hit you as you're there? Do you pregame?
Well, I've only done 2 24-hour comics in my life. The first one Actually, both of them I did have an idea before I jumped into it, but I didn't write a script or anything, but I did have the idea, which is, I think, technically what you're not supposed to do. I think you're supposed to do everything within 24 hours, which is idea generation even. I think that's technically the right way to do it. I mean, people stray from it, and it's fine. But I think that's how Scott McCloud originally came up with the idea. But anyway, yeah, I go into my 24-hour comics with an idea. For Dream of Green, I'd had this idea in my head for a really long time about how cool it would be if Earth was overtaken by plants, to be like, haha, humans, you suck, and we're finally taking it back. So that's kind of the gist of it. This chick takes this seed of some sort from another planet that was overgrown and lush, and then she takes it back to this completely industrialized planet and lets the seed grow, and it kind of overtakes the planet as well. So it's kind of like an environmentalist wet dream, in a way. And yeah, I finally got it out of my system, and I'm glad I did.
Okay. And
Other environmentalist wet dreams are doing plants and Swamp Thing. Sorry.
Yes, okay.
have you done any other silent comics?
Silent comics? No. I feel like I almost copped out with that one. It's
Why?
easier to do a silent comic than one with dialogue, especially...
That's bullshit.
I don't know, I'm not good with dialogue.
Oh, that's right, you're afraid of, well,
Maybe
yeah.
that's it. Maybe I am afraid, and maybe that's why I suck at dialogue, but...
Well, it's weird though, because I mean, even if you didn't write it, you have the narrative throughout that's really strong. So it's just weird that you're like afraid of writing, but you can do it well. I mean, maybe dialogue isn't necessarily your strongest point, but the rest is totally there.
That's
so
good.
it's just...
Maybe it's because I'm such a visual person that it comes more naturally to me to tell a story through pictures than it does through words. Maybe that's why I chose it to be silent.
Okay.
Chose it to be silent? Is that even, like, grammatically correct to say?
Close enough.
Okay.
We're American.
Whatever, okay.
On a tangent, I used to think that like if you jizzed into like plants and stuff, they could form a hybrid plant, and like Swamp Thing.
When were you thinking this?
Just now.
And
no.
When were you on it?
No. When I was younger.
So when you were 8, you were thinking about jizzing into plants?
Yes.
Is there anything that spurred that?
The environmental wet dream. I'm still stuck on that.
I meant like when you were 8.
Oh, Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Oh,
You got a thing for Swamp Thing.
John said Man Thing too, because I thought about
Shabam!
I was thinking about like human plant hybrid people. Yeah.
Oh my god! And then I jizzed in my plant. Sorry.
Yeah, I
you get the
did.
reference?
So,
Moving on. Sorry.
have you done any 24-hour comics?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen them, so I'm a little hurt, but... No, I'm assuming they weren't silent.
No. Well, the Fumetti that I showed you, it was the first 24-hour comic that I did was called Relay, and the story was about this baton that was passed from hand to hand, and then each person that I got passed to changed perspectives. So it was first person's perspective, and it was told through their point of view and stuff like that. Looking back on it, I like the idea, but the execution was so-so. But more importantly, Scott McCloud put on an anthology on it, and it didn't make it in. But the process of someone made a Fumetti of us making the 24-hour comics, which made that anthology, which was kind of cool. There was 2 comics. It was that one documenting, it was with Squidworks, documenting the event, and also that Clara Harbor, I believe she was 13 at the time, made a 24-hour comic, and it made it into the anthology as well.
That's awesome.
And since then, I have done, I believe, 4? Yeah, 4. Excuse me.
Awesome. Are you both planning to do it this year, or not so much?
Never again do I desire to do a 24-hour comic.
Really?
I
What
don't like
happened?
working. Well, for one, I don't like working for more than 8 hours. It's just like, I physically and mentally am like, ugh. And so I just don't want to. I don't have to. I don't want to. And then, yeah, maybe that's the main thing.
And before you guys judge her, as her defense though, Leila works on comics pretty regularly, like every day. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh no, and I think that's totally fair. I mean, for a lot of people, it's actually sitting down to just get it done. Whereas, I mean, people who do it regularly are always going to put it out better. What I always find interesting with a lot of indie people are they have a 24-hour comic and then they redo it to sell it later or whatever. Have you guys ever done that?
No, but it's a great idea. I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like storyboarding or thumbnailing out something that could be improved later.
so I'm gonna add. Do you not know that Reset and Breakup are 24-hour comics?
No.
Yeah.
Well, snap.
Yeah. And I've went back and done some touch-ups just from like fix some grammatical errors.
Imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, pretty much. One of them I did a little bit of touch-up on art, but it was trying to still keep that like same style that was consistent during my sleep deprivation. But no, which is it's harder than it sounds. But yeah, both of those are actually 24-hour comics. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
That's really impressive, actually. Now, and since you brought up Reset and the Breakup here, which you can't really tell from here, but he has these crazy awesome covers where there's one thing you can kind of see, and then if you open the cover once, there's an image on the inside that's you have to see it.
No, I'm glad that you appreciate that. So another thing like with comics and printmaking, it's tied to the actual artifact of the piece. So
Yeah, and I remember talking to you once, and you said you had a genre name for these.
yeah. This was in part because of Michael Prince. He noticed both of these kind of resonated, and also I wrote in prose a short story for an anthology for Tales to Audify, and he called them existentialist emo science fiction, or emo skiffy for short.
Do you feel anyone else meets the Emox Skiffy?
I feel like Philip K. Dick gets close, but still not there.
You're the progenitor and the soul.
He doesn't have the whole emo thing down as well. Yeah. He's got the existentialism and the science fiction, but yeah, not the emo haircut. So neither do I, but
Oh,
yeah.
despite the weekly breakdowns.
Yeah.
And what hit me about both these comics and something about them is there's this tie from the beginning to the ending, and it's a cycle in both the comics, which is almost a Buddhist thought.
And also, when you say to some degree in rehearsal that I collaborated with Leila too on.
Oh, really?
I mean,
that's not, mentioned or anything. Do you feel cheated on that?
No. I mean, totally. I hate everything now.
You'll never trust me again.
Ever.
Well, we weren't gonna work with each other again.
Okay,
Anyways.
our friendship is going back to be a secret again.
It's not tied to Buddhism, in my mind. I didn't, my mother, for a little while before she converted to Christianity, was Buddhist, and for a while there, I had read Buddhist philosophy, but I mean, I don't consider myself a Buddhist. So, but maybe to some degree, it's bounces around the back of my head. A lot of the thing that I think where I'm coming from is, I usually don't like linear storytelling. It bores me.
Okay.
Generally, I mean, of course there's plenty of exceptions. I'm being hyperbolic.